This is the Side Hustle Show with Nick Loper, episode 66, How to Cut Your Grocery Bill in Half Without Extreme Couponing.
Welcome to the Side Hustle Show, where aspiring part-time entrepreneurs learn how to turn their side hustle dreams into reality. Because your 9 to 5 may make you a living, but your 5 to 9 makes you alive. And now, your host, Nick Loper.
Hey everybody, Nick Loper here. Welcome to the Side Hustle Show. This is episode 66, How to Cut Your Grocery Budget in Half Without Extreme Couponing. I'm joined by Josh Elledge of savingsangel.com, who's created what he calls a technology solution to help consumers save big bucks on the food they're going to buy anyways. This was an eye-opening one for me. Now, most of our shows are about making money, and 66 shows deep over a year into this, finally one about saving it. A penny saved is penny earned, right? All that jazz. And I think this goes back to the your rat race freedom number, which is a post on Side Hustle Nation that I will link to in the show notes. But basically, the less you spend, the less you need to earn from a side hustle to break free from your day job or eventually retire, right? You're living off of the interest from your investments or the income from your different projects. So Josh, in this call, he's a little excitable and possibly a little self-promotional at times, but he does share some interesting tactics to save some money that I never really considered before, and he does have some good free resources as well. So for my extended show notes on everything we cover, please visit sidehustlenation.com/episode 66. And a little bit of news and updates before we get into the show. A quick shout out to Sharita from verbalartcopywriting.com. She gave my autoresponder series some tough love last week. Man, my ego was a little bit bruised, but with her recommended changes, I'm already seeing some improvement on key metrics. So Sharita, thank you so much for that. And it's been a while since we've done any iTunes shouts. Lots of 5-star reviews coming in. I've got one from Grant Baldwin from a previous episode. He says 5 stars. Aaron Olson, 82. Thank you so much for yours. RTH 2007, 5 stars. Love it. Thank you so much. And this one's my favorite. It comes from Burkett Road. It says, amazing. I binge listened to this podcast over the course of 3 days, and it has to be one of the most inspiring, educational, and empowering business podcasts ever, in capital letters. Thank you so much for that. That definitely helps give me the motivation to keep going, to keep putting the show out each week. I love hearing from you guys. Definitely check out the show notes for this week at sidehustlenation.com/episode 66. Now, tomorrow I'm off to Dallas for the Podcast Movement Conference. Really excited for it. I've never been to Texas before outside of the airport, and I'm sure it's going to be a good time. If you're going to be at the show, definitely let me know. Would love to meet up. And if you're in the area, I don't know if there's going to be a ton of free time, but hit me up as well if you're in and around Dallas. We'll see if we can get something going. And with that, let's get Josh on the line. Hey, Josh, welcome to the Side Hustle Show.
Hey, thanks so much, Nick.
Everybody, Josh is a consumer advocate. He's the founder of savingsangel.com, and he's the host of the 90 Days to Abundance podcast. So, Josh, start off with kind of how you got started. You started with groceries. How are we going to save money on groceries?
Yeah.
And I think that's something with universal appeal because everybody's got to eat. So,
yeah,
how did that happen?
Exactly. Well, Nick, completely out of necessity. And by the way, as we get started here, just in case you hear any thunder in the background, I live in Orlando, Florida, and we're getting our afternoon thunder showers that are coming through right now. So with any luck, it should be over and done with in about 10, 15 minutes. So just if you hear some thunder, it's not God striking me down because I've said committed some sort of blasphemy or lied or something like that. That's just regular thunder. But in regards to, see, there's the thunder right there. I don't know if you can hear it. But in regards to how I got started in consumer savings in regards to saving money on groceries was completely out of need. I was working a job and that job was feeling a little shaky. And so my wife and I started reading books about stewardship and taking better care of what we have. I read The Richest Man in Babylon, got connected through, I think, Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, went through that. And as we were doing our inventory and looking at where our money was going, there was this line item for groceries, and we were spending I was already pretty frugal, I guess you would say. Yet we were spending between $700 and $800 a month to feed a family of four, just my wife and I and two very young kids at the time.
Okay.
And I became obsessed with that. I started studying all the experts and come to find out that all the experts generally agree on one principle. If you want to cut your grocery bill in half and save a lot of money, is that you have to stack high value coupons on top of great local sales. Coupons by themselves are good. Sales by themselves, those are pretty good. But if you put the two of them together, you can save yourself a lot of money. And so I created a technical solution that would kind of somewhat automate this process for me. I'm kind of a geek at heart. So if I can ever complicate things with technology, I'm all over that. And so I did this, and I started coming up with this formula, basically, where that I could really just get groceries for pennies on the dollar. And I thought, well, I started telling other people about this, and they're like, that sounds like a really good business. You should put that on the internet. And I thought, you know what? That does sound like a good business.
This is the origins of Savings Angel?
Yes. So I created a membership-based website. And again, that was January of 2007, before the recession, before extreme couponing. And as a result of these trends that happened, we ended up experiencing a lot of success. And I'm very, very humbled for that.
So tell me, because I've never done any coupon stacking. How does it work for somebody who's totally new to the game?
Yeah. So coupons are all around us. And some of us may have this belief that we think of couponing. Oh, great. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to spend 10 minutes. I'm going to clip some dumb coupons worth 25 cents. And then what? I'm going to save 25 cents. That is not today's couponing. That was how your mom used to coupon. Today's couponing can save you $300 to $400 a month. And I don't want you to take this lightly. Yes, by themselves, a coupon may only be worth $1 or so, okay? But what we want to do is we want to automate this process. I mean, for example, my local retailer just had Cheerios on sale, buy one, get one. And so it brought a $4 box of Cheerios down to $2. Well, we were able to alert our members to a $2 coupon for Cheerios that came out at the exact same time. Now, Nick, if you take that $2 coupon and you buy a $2 box of cereal at your local grocery store, well, guess how much you got that box of cereal for?
I got some free breakfast.
You got free cereal. And so that's the kind of savings that we want to experience on everything that you put in your cart. And again, is it going to take you a little bit of time? Yeah, it is. But here's the bottom line. You will earn about $30 to $45 to $65, just depending on how serious you want to be about this, per hour for your work. So, Nick, in terms of a great little side hustle, you're not going to make gangsta money, but you can definitely save your family $300-400 a month very, very easily. Most people who use Savings Angel only invest about an hour, maybe an hour and a half extra if they really want to be very diligent, because we do, Nick, a lot of the hard work. The hard work is finding out what those matches are. That's what our technology and our staff of over 30 angels, that's what we're creating each and every week for our members.
Okay. No, I'm really glad you brought up the part about the hourly wage, because I get my idea, and I've never seen the extreme couponing show, so I'm glad you brought that up too. My vision is like, right, you're cutting the 25-cent thing, and then you're like, great, this is a product I probably didn't need anyways, and now I can save a quarter. Like that's not interesting to me. But the $300-400 a month and potential to earn the equivalent of $50 an hour, because right, like it's a penny saved is a penny earned, right? Like instead of maybe this is low hanging fruit. If I can't start a business that's going to earn me another $400 a month, maybe I can go this route and save $400 a month, and the net result is the same.
It is the easiest savings account that you can build, because manufacturers and retailers are willing to contribute to this to really, really help you out. And so our service, look, it's $5 a week, but with that $5 a week, you should be able to easily sock away, again, a good $7,500 for that $5 investment. So it just makes sense. But you brought up something that I think is really interesting, and that's extreme couponing. Now, when you look at what those folks are able to to save, it's crazy, right? I mean, they buy $1,000 worth of groceries and they pay like $30. Okay. First of all, you need to know that that's absolutely not real. What they created for television, no, and I mean that seriously, it was absolutely fabricated. It doesn't exist. It is impossible to do in most cases because you have coupon policies that were absolutely bent to, more directions than the, I was going to say the Kama Sutra. I mean, it's just, there were it was just ridiculous how much fiction was on that show. So first of all, you need to know that that's fiction. It doesn't exist. You really can't do that. Also, those folks that are doing that are spending the equivalent of a very healthy part-time job. And I'm talking 15, 20, 25 hours a week in order to get that savings.
Right.
First of all, that's not realistic for the average person. Secondly, again, it's a law of diminishing returns. When you want to spend that much, you're just not earning as much per hour if you want to take it to that extreme. And I don't think most people need to load their garage full of toothpaste. It's just not practical. And so what we want to focus on is you tell us what you buy on a regular basis, and we'll help you get a couple of months extra stored away for you. For example, if you have a baby that needs diapers, well, if we can help you find Huggies for 50, 60% off, then it makes sense for you to have a few months worth of Huggy diapers because that baby's going to be going through more than one box before it's done with diapers.
Right. Are the products that you typically found on coupons, are there fruits and veggies and stuff, or is it primarily packaged goods?
If you want to use coupons and savings,
I'm going to sound like a California hippie, like we only eat organic.
Yeah, right. Look, if you want to buy junk food, you can absolutely save a lot of money and buy lots of junk food. But it is absolutely a myth that coupons only exist for unhealthy processed foods. Today, more than ever, you can get coupons for extremely healthy foods right now in our coupon database, and we have a free coupon database that anybody can use. And even if you don't pay me a dime, I just want to be in service to more and more people, help them save money by at least doing a quick search and finding if there are high value coupons that exist for the products you're buying. Right now in our coupon database, Nick, I just did a search. There are over 100 different coupons for organic products. And I think that's awesome. We have coupons for fresh produce. We have coupons for, the things on the perimeter of the grocery store that in years past, I will say, did not exist.
Right.
And so I think that's fabulous. And yes, you can absolutely save money. And in addition, Nick, you mentioned things like produce. There aren't a lot of coupons for a head of lettuce, for example.
Right.
But if it comes in a bag like Fresh Express, oh my gosh, you can absolutely save tons of money on those sorts of products.
Okay.
But that's not to say that there aren't tips and strategies that you really need to know about so that you can make sure that you are maximizing your produce dollars. And finally, Nick, I'll just share this.
Lay it on us.
All right. I'm preaching here. In regards to produce, because again, my family and my wife and I lost over 60 pounds on what I call the couponing diet because I was able to save tons and tons of money all throughout the grocery store. Now, that didn't always mean that I was saving 50% or more in the produce section, but because I was saving more than 50% on my cleaning supplies, my paper products, my, cereal, a lot of these other items, that freed up extra money so that I could invest more in the produce aisle. And as a result, Nick, I was able to improve diet, and I was able to really be able to buy products that on my budget I could not have purchased previously. It's expensive to feed a family, particularly in California where you're at.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm glad you said it.
Yes.
Just like on the surface, I lost 60 pounds and I saved half my money on groceries. Well, did you just eat half as much?
Yeah. Yeah. And then really it really is just buying healthier food. And like I said, can you buy less of junk food? Yeah, absolutely. But again, you'll probably be tempted to do that for the first few weeks. And then the thrill will go and you realize that you can save a lot of money on the stuff that you're already buying for your family.
So let's maybe we can use my household as a guinea pig. I do most of the grocery shopping. We primarily go to Costco and Trader Joe's. Are there opportunities for us? Or are we gonna have to start going to like Safeway, Walmart, that sort of thing?
Okay, so what I want to do is come up with a plan that's going to work for you and your family. But I will just give you a couple of things that are pretty much agreed upon by our team of researchers, myself, as we've looked at how much it costs to buy groceries and products at quote unquote warehouse stores as opposed to a supermarket retailer or a store that promises everyday low prices. Okay. Safeway and other grocery chains work on a high-low pricing structure. I mean, their regular prices are going to be higher than Costco per unit, higher than Walmart per unit, but an active conscientious shopper is not going to pay those prices. It's absurd. The low price that Safeway or another grocery chain, traditional grocery chain, is going to offer, those sale items, those loss leaders, is going to be significantly lower than a Walmart or a Costco, Sam's Club, any of those warehouse clubs. Also, manufacturer coupons, for the most part, cannot be redeemed at stores like Costco and Sam's Club, warehouse club stores. Okay? Because of that, I'm really not interested. Show me the aisle at Costco where I can get. My son Ethan is 10 years old. That boy goes through a lot of Cheerios. Show me the aisle where I can get Cheerios for free. It doesn't exist. Okay, I can absolutely blow away the prices at the warehouse clubs. Now, there's a lot of psychology that goes into warehouse club pricing that we really don't have time to get into. I've done podcasts about this subject. If you search my website and just search for the club, search for the term warehouse club, you're going to find a lot of research we've done on warehouse club pricing. And I will tell you, Nick, that by and large, warehouse clubs are a complete waste of time and a complete waste of money for most consumables.
Well, let's do this. Let's grab a couple of like the top tips for somebody who's just getting started. I have never really thought about the grocery budget before. I just, we buy groceries and we eat them, and then we do the same the next week. Like if we're just getting started out, what would be our first couple steps or first couple tips?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this is the first step, and this is so important. And for those, Nick, those listening to me, if they remember nothing else about what that crazy fast-talking angel guy was talking about, if they will remember this one thing, then I will consider this mission accomplished. Stop buying what you need. When you go into a grocery store and you are buying what you need, you have no negotiating power.
Okay, so stop buying what you need. That's fascinating. I mean, I still got to eat. So what's next?
Yeah. You want to go in and buy only the best deals. So I want you to regain your negotiating power. Go in and instead of a list of needs, I want you to buy what you don't need. And I want you to buy for the future. Now, are there some things that are just unavoidable? Yeah, your family's going to need to still keep drinking milk or whatever it is that you need on a regular basis. That's fine. Buy the absolute minimum of those things that you need. But those rest of those things, I want you to shop like a smart business owner, someone who builds homes for a living, and they see that they can get 2x4s for 50% off this week. Well, how many 2x4s is that smart business owner going to buy? They are going to buy as many as they can comfortably afford and use in the foreseeable future so that they can pass along the savings to their customers. And that's what you want to do. When you get a great opportunity, I want you to stock up and I want you to buy a few months worth of that product. So that means Cheerios. Yeah, you're putting like 8-10 boxes of Cheerios in your cart. Are people going to look at you? Yeah, because you're not shopping like they are. But meanwhile, Nick, those are the ones that are spending $800-900 a month. You don't want to shop like that. That's the sucker way of buying your groceries. I want you to shop like a smart business owner.
And I've been a sucker for years.
When you get to the point and you realize and you start thinking to all that money that went, it's just gone bye-bye. It's almost almost like, oh, you just like, face palm. You're like, oh my gosh. But I will say on the flip side, to experience Christmas every single week when you can discover how you can get these products for 50 to 75% off or more, even free groceries every so often, pretty regularly, actually, it's pretty exciting. And so that kind of outweighs the I can't believe I spent all that money over those past number of years.
So to search the database, people have got to create a free account for
free, absolutely free. And Nick, you don't need, someone listening to us, you don't need to become a quote unquote couponer. But if you're not opposed to doing things like buying Groupons or Living Social or using promo codes, well, guess what? It's about that involved. I mean, so if you don't mind doing that, you could do the same thing, except use the same principles on the things that you're buying every single week.
Right. It's funny, like couponing has like a stigma about it, right? But being a savvy shopper, being like somebody who saves money is, that's looked highly upon.
Yeah. I don't really consider myself, I certainly don't consider myself an extreme couponer. I really don't even consider myself a couponer, but I use coupons smartly. I'm a busy guy. I've got no time, and I certainly don't have time for 25 cents here, 50 cents there. But if I see a really good Groupon that I can use, you better believe I'm going to buy it. And
right.
It's kind of that level of involvement. I'm just using technology to do a lot of the work for me, and I'm going to be smart about my time and money.
Okay, so Costco, so Trader Joe's are out. So we've got to go to Safeway. It's on the other side of the freeway. That's the problem for me.
I'm not saying they're out. Look, if there's still those items that you want to, that only Trader Joe's sells, and I know they sell some really unique, awesome products, you can absolutely still go there, and you can make this work within your schedule, within your budget. You just need to make a decision whether or not it's worth going to Safeway or Albertsons, whatever the other store is that particular week. I've got a Whole Foods, but my Whole Foods is a good 20 minutes away. I only end up going once every month and a half because it's a long trip. And so it's got to be something pretty darn compelling for me to make the run up there. But on that same point, I go to Walgreens and CVS every single week because there's almost always something that I'm going to go there for.
Okay. No, I like it. Josh, let's say we'll move towards wrapping things up. An hour a week on the grocery side, is that a reasonable time investment to make something happen or make a significant dent in your budget?
Oh my gosh, Nick, even if it was only 20, 30 minutes and all you did was just cherry pick some of the freebie items, or you took advantage of some of the very, very high value offers that are available, it's money, it's time well spent. You will earn a significant hourly rate for that time. And I want to make sure that people know that it doesn't matter how much time you invest. Again, like I said, even if it's only 15, 20 minutes, you will earn a good return on investment for that. So don't feel like you have to be, I'm going to become a couponer now, and this is going to be something that you're going to have to dedicate 2 hours a week to. You don't need to do that. You can do whatever works for your lifestyle, your time availability, the kind of food that you can eat. You can make this absolutely work. But what I would just say is the longer you put this off, by default, you are saying yes to losing an extra $200 to $400 a month. So it's worth taking seriously.
Awesome, Josh. Thanks so much. We'll wrap up with your number one tip for Side Hustle Nation.
Oh, man, I already gave my number one tip. My number one tip, Nick, and I'm going to reiterate this, is don't put this off. Seriously, I've sat down with a lot of people. Everybody, Nick, in my opinion, except for those who are brutally honest, I would say, let me just give a percentage. I would say 80% of people think that they are much more financially sensitive or much more financially responsible than they are. But if you're not following someone like myself, and again, there's some great leaders out there. I think Clark Howard does fantastic work. Dave Ramsey does fantastic work. Just invest a little bit of time in becoming a better steward. And if you do that, I promise that, if you listen to my podcast, you are going to gain value. You're going to gain freebies. You're going to gain more upgrades in life. And again, investing in stewardship and investing in being able to better handle your resources, your energy, the emotional energy that you have in life. If you can be wiser with how you allocate those resources, you will absolutely live a more rich, abundant, and blessed life.
Sounds good. Thanks, Josh. We'll talk to you soon.
Nick, thank you so much for having me.
All right, what do you guys think? Did Josh get you pumped up to go out there and save some money? Now, I'll be honest, I've been holding on to this episode for a while because I wanted to test out Savings Angel for myself to see if I could use it and could recommend it, and I've failed on that front. I haven't spent any time on the platform and unfortunately haven't changed my grocery buying habits. You heard him call me out for shopping at Costco and not, doing the whole coupon thing. It's still on my, would love to-do list, and especially curious if we can realize some of the fun, exciting deals he's talking about, kind of that joy of discovery, that joy of getting free groceries, I think is something we can all get behind. But in the meantime, I unfortunately can't provide much of an endorsement at the moment. But if anyone does end up checking out Savings Angel, or if you've used it in the past, please circle back to this episode and let me know how it goes, or just send me a note, nick@sidehustlenation.com. I'm really curious to hear about your experience. $300 to $400 a month is not chump change. It's some pretty cool stuff. So be sure to leave a comment at sidehustlenation.com/episode 66. While you're there, feel free to grab the free PDF download with all the extended show notes. And next week, back to your regularly scheduled programming. I promise more side hustle stuff next week. And until then, let's go out there and make something happen. And I'll see you next week in episode 67.
Thanks for listening to The Side Hustle Show at www.sidehustlenation.com.